Welcome back to another Movie Lingo discussion. My name is Cody.
I'm Kendall.
I'm Alyssa Jansen.
And today we are going to be talking about Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Now, for those of you who don't know, Alyssa's going to give you a small summary about what the movie was about.
So this movie, it was basically, it's the fifth. It's the fifth, yeah, 3, Ghost Protocol and stuff. It's the 5th movie in the Mission Impossible installment, and it's about Ethan Hunt, and it's after what happens in Moscow and everything, and basically like Alec Baldwin is in it, and he tells how everybody, like basically they're shutting down IMF because of all the destruction that happens, and they're saying that like they can't do anything because they mess everything up, and they show pictures of like what happened in Moscow, and so they're going like under the radar and trying to take down the people in the syndicate, and they're trying to take down them because they're gonna like rule the world as always, and that's basically just what it's about. And Tom Cruise doing stunts.
So overall, how did you guys feel about this movie? Kendall, how was it for you?
As an action movie in general, I thought it was really good. You know, it was a great watch towards the end of the summer. You know, as a Mission Impossible movie, it was good, but not as good as previous movies. It felt a little. You know, I was hoping for a little more. It's still a good watch though, so you know, I'd recommend it.
And how did you feel about it?
That's exactly how I feel. Knowing the past Mission Impossible movies, the action is just as good. The action's always great, but the movie itself, it just felt like it was like missing something. Like I didn't feel the same way as I did in the previous movies. I don't know. There's just something missing. I don't know what it is, but I didn't feel it that much.
I can't really give that much of a description because this is actually the first Mission Impossible movie I ever watched. For some reason, the thought of the Mission Impossible movies, they didn't really interest me. It was like, okay, that's cool, and the stunts were awesome and the action scenes are great, but I thought this movie was good. It wasn't fantastic or spectacular, but the action scenes, like they said, were very good. I felt that the storyline was just missing some stuff, and I felt it was a little like empty. But I also I did really like the scenes and the stunts and everything. It seems like to me, and I don't know about you guys, but I get the feeling from this movie that I haven't seen any of the other ones. So this is just a very broad assumption, but it seems like these Mission Impossible movies are starting to let's get the most ridiculous stunts that we can do, and then build a story around it.
Most definitely.
And I didn't really like that because it should be about the story. Because that's what holds you in a movie, you know?
Yeah, that's what the previous ones were like. It was the story first, and then the action branched off of it.
Yeah, they know the formula that works for it. So they know that if we have all these crazy stunts, it doesn't really matter what the storyline is. But for movies, I still like to have a good storyline with it, you know?
So, speaking of stunts, let's get right into that. Tom Cruise...
just starts off.
Yeah, right in the beginning of the movie, we see Tom Cruise... he actually strapped himself to a plane that was taking off. I don't know much about the other movies, so I don't know any of the other intense stunts that he's done, but that seems pretty fucking intense.
Yeah.
Like
he's usually like the go-to guy whenever you have to do something crazy. It's like Ethan Hunt. So
yo, Ethan.
So what can you guys let me know? Can you fill me in on some other what other stunts has Tom Cruise done in these movies?
Ghost Protocol. World's tallest building.
In
Dubai, they have to get from one floor to the other, and they can't go on the elevators, and so
of course,
right? So he goes outside the building, and he connects himself with just like, it's not even like a tight rope, like it's just like rope, and he starts running, and he swings to go to the other side.
And he climbs the building.
And he climbs the building with like these like hand thingies,
and
one breaks off.
Did.
Yeah, and one falls off, so he only has like one to use.
And this happened, like they actually shot this like that. Like Tom Cruise actually went outside of the building and did that?
Not that building.
Yeah,
I'm
probably
not sure.
not that building, but he definitely did the stunts.
Yeah.
He does all his own stunts.
That's intense.
Intense.
That is one thing and I'm sure these guys will agree, I have to give to this movie. Let's talk about the stunts. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
Like that's where Tom Cruise shines.
Yeah.
Other than anything else in his life,
you really don't need a story for Tom Cruise. Just have him do a bunch of stunts, and then that's it. So how'd you feel about it?
The stunts?
Yeah.
The stunts were great. I mean, we had great action scenes when he was fighting with the girl, Rebecca Ferguson's character.
Yeah.
Great choreography.
Ilsa House?
Yes.
Elsa?
Elsa.
We had the underwater scene when he had to swim underwater.
Yeah,
That was
that
awesome.
was
Yeah.
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that was a little bit scary.
I'm a little. He had a little thing with water, and the part when he was just about to drown, that kind of got me a
Set
little
some
bit.
shivers?
Yeah.
What about you?
I definitely think the water scene was pretty intense, the plane scene, and I don't feel like there was many intense scenes in this one, as in like the previous movies, but I did like the scene where, what was it? Oh my gosh, what was happening? Oh, when he was on the record machine, and he walked in and they had like the whole secret because that's what they do.
Oh, yeah,
they have
yeah.
like that's how they do things.
Right.
Like in the past movies, they've like he's gone into like these random like telephone booths that like only this one.
Right.
So he walks in, he has like this secret conversation, and then it's not really a stunt, but it's like cool. And then he walks in, and then he goes into like the thing to listen to the music, and he opens up, and there's like a computer, and there's like hologram. That was super cool.
Yeah.
I love all those those are like my favorite little things in it.
You can't shortchange the motorcycle scene too.
That's-
I think
yes.
that was the best.
I was gonna
scene.
Okay,
say-
well I didn't see it. I missed it. I went to the
Yeah,
bathroom.
you suck. Call me crazy, but I love a good motorcycle chase scene, and that was very good. I think that at one point there was like 5 of them on motorcycles, and basically Tom Cruise is at the end of the group, and he just slowly starts advancing on the group and taking out each one of the bikers one by one, trying to reach Ilsa because she has stolen the thumb drive. Yeah. One of the things though I really liked that scene in the underwater scene where he's swimming trying to get inside of the facility. Afterwards, he loses consciousness, and when they bring him back, he seems very out of it.
Mhm.
And like when he tries to do the things that Tom Cruise does in his movies,
He just fails.
he kind of
Yeah.
fails at it. And I thought that was really funny
Yeah,
to
it was
see.
like some humor.
It was really funny to see Tom Cruise not being good at being an action hero. Like he tries to slide across the roof of the car, and he actually just falls and face plants into the car.
Are you okay to drive? A minute ago you were dead.
What are you talking about?
This is not going to end well.
And when he's driving, he is
Kinda
like
drifts out the
he
corner.
drifts and hitting the corner of stuff. I really liked that. I thought it was really because it is true when you brought back from consciousness and he almost drowned. He's probably not all there yet, so his body is a little bit slow to react. But I want to talk to you guys about. I want to find out your favorite characters from the movie. Who in this movie really stood out to you? Because I know I have one, and I want to hear what you guys feel.
I like Benji's character.
Okay.
Benji, he's like the humor, but I feel like he has the coolest things that he gets to do. Like in I always keep going back to both Ghost Protocol.
For those of you who didn't know, Alyssa likes Ghost Protocol better.
It's so good. Okay, in Ghost Protocol, they have a scene where they put a contact in the eye, and when you blink, it takes a picture of what you see, and then it printed out these codes because they need these codes for like this like bomb.
I'm just.
Oh,
this is all going
and
right
it's
over
so
my
cool.
head.
And then he created all these cool gadgets and things. I don't know. I think his job is the coolest. So I think Benji's my favorite.
What about you?
I'm not usually one to like the main character the most, but this one I have to make an exception because I thought Ethan Hunt was great because he's the go-to guy for the stunts.
That's true.
He's jumping on airplanes and jumping out of buildings and stuff, and that's awesome.
When someone doesn't want to do it,
They
he's
look-
always the guy to say that he'll do it.
Yeah.
They always look at him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Benji too. I didn't know that these Mission Impossible movies had a little bit of humor in them. I honestly thought it was 100% serious Mission Impossible all the time. So seeing Simon Pegg as Benji and giving when he's sitting there and he's playing video games in the government office that he works at, and he's playing Halo, and a game, Halo 5, I believe, a game that's not even out yet.
They did jump forward in time though for a couple months.
That's true.
I don't know when Halo 5 is supposed to come out.
A game that's not even out yet, he's playing, and then when he has a mirror set up so he can check when someone's coming, and he just turns the game off. He was that very, the British nerdy and also frightened, like, at that first scene in the beginning of the movie.
He's always frightened.
That first scene in the beginning of the movie when they're like, Benji, and he like lifts his head up from the grass, and he's like, he's definitely a field agent, but he's a less actiony field agent, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I really like that kind of character. I definitely like Benji in that role. Simon Pegg was probably my favorite character in these movies.
I'm glad they brought back Ving Rhames.
Yeah,
'Cause
me
he
too.
was in the original, the first one.
Don't know
and
who
then,
that is.
Big black guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Luther?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
He made a cameo in the last movie, but they actually brought him into this one, and he had a small part, but a part in the movie. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to bring back, we were talking about Ving Rhames. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Ving. Okay, whatever. Ving Rhames making a cameo in this one, or becoming a heavy character in this one, and you wanted to bring something up about that.
Yeah, at the end of the previous movie, they all it's past people that were in the other movies. So he was in the first one. So they bring him back, and they're all sitting together talking, and I think that it was kind of setting it up to maybe have him be in the next one, since he is in this one. So I thought it was cool to actually see it happen and have him be in it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't bring Michelle Monaghan in there also.
I know.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Ethan Hunt's wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
He's married?
Yeah, but she's he faked her death.
Yeah, because she was in danger, so he faked her death, and so she couldn't be a person. So she's been
So she couldn't be a person.
a person in his life. So she's been living her life normally. And at the end of the last movie, he's watching her, and he sees her walk into a store, and she kind of sees him for a second, and she's like, and then he's gone. And it was, I don't know, it's cute. So I wish she was brought back in this one.
One more thing about characters that I want to talk to you about, really quick. I love Jeremy Renner as an actor.
I know.
I only saw him as Hawkeye. That was the first thing that I saw him in. He might have been in other movies I can't think of right now.
I saw Ghost Protocol, which is the first one that he's in for the Mission Impossible series. I saw him in that before I saw him in Avengers. So this was my first thing for him.
I think Jeremy Renner is a fantastic actor. I love his kind of sly humorism that he does.
Dad jokes.
I love, he's dad jokes. That's exactly what it is. Jeremy
Dad
Renner
jokes.
is a dad, and his actor is a dad. And then when they're in the meeting talking about breaking up the IMF, he says the one thing over and over again. He said, "I can neither confirm nor deny these without permission from the supervisor." And they keep asking him questions, and that's the only thing he says. And I find that so funny because Jeremy Renner he's an agent, he's a spy, but he's the director. He's the director of IMF, right? Or what is his role?
He was brought in to help, but
From the Avengers?
yeah, Hawkeye was needed for IMF, so they brought him in. No, he's not a director. I mean, maybe he is now. I don't know if maybe his position was bumped up after this, which doesn't seem like they like the IMF very much after this. But I don't think that that's what he was. He was just brought in as a person that was helping out in the last one. He wasn't really anybody.
I really liked him. I think Jeremy Renner is a fantastic actor, and I think he does a great job in this movie of playing he gets serious when he needs to, but he's also that when Tom Cruise and Simon Pegg are in the car and they flip the car. And there's that one goon standing over them who's about to kill them. And you're seeing it from the car flipped upside down, and then all of a sudden you just see the Jeep 4Runner, I believe it is, that they just runs over that guy, and Jeremy Renner just pokes his head out and looks down. Yeah, I really liked that.
He was the next Bourne in the Bourne Identity. You know the Bourne series with Matt Damon.
Maybe.
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, Jason Bourne.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's the new one. He was in the latest one.
I've never seen any of those, so I don't.
You know what? We have a whole thing to watch.
I am very behind on my movies.
Jeremy Renner is he's the new action McAction pants.
Mm-hmm.
He's the second. I don't want to rate them, but if you didn't have an Ethan Hunt there, then you would get Jeremy Renner to do your.
And who's not Tom Cruise, just Ethan Hunt and then Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. So, another Mission Impossible movie, and from what I hear, we get a different female role each time, almost like James Bond and Indiana Jones.
Pretty much.
So, how did you guys feel about Ilsa Faust?
I didn't like her.
Really? Why not?
I don't know. It just wasn't. She wasn't the one that I wanted to see.
Who did you want to see?
Honestly, I wanted to see Michelle
Monaghan.
Mon Mothma?
I can never say her last name, but I like her so much.
Yeah.
And I think because she's the original woman, I mean, she was never really one for stunts. She was kind of just the one he was saving. Yeah, but I missed her, or I liked Paula Patton.
Yeah, Paula Patton, that was my choice.
Paula Patton
I kind
kicked
of
some butt.
I got a celebrity crush on Paula Patton. So the fact that she wasn't in this movie, I
Yeah.
guess that already brought it down.
Yeah.
But the Ilsa girl, I don't think she was that bad. I liked her. She was.
Yeah.
She
She
had-
wasn't bad, but she just wasn't.
I thought she was real cool though. You know, she was never a damsel in distress. Because I hate how they are. If there's a woman in a movie, she has to be a damsel in distress. I'm glad they didn't do that in this one. I thought she was cool, as I like that cool assassin kind of, don't fuck with her kind of girl.
I liked her, but I also didn't feel. I felt like her character wasn't that important to the plot. She did save Tom Cruise's life after he dove in and lost oxygen and passed out, which of course I respect her for that. But she was cool. She had a lot of good action scenes. She was a great hand-to-hand combat. And then I did like the knife scene with her and I cannot remember that guy's name, but they got into a knife fight in the alleyway, and that was a really good scene. Because I feel like we don't get enough like hand-to-hand or like knife fights. Like that knife fight was very well choreographed, and then her finishing move when she just leapt onto his back and then jammed it inside.
Yes.
That was pretty badass. But
The Bone Doctor.
The Bone Doctor, yeah. He was known for using knives and saws, and she came at him with a knife, and no one brought a gun to the knife fight, which I really appreciated. So I really liked that scene, but overall for Ilsa, I felt like it was okay. It wasn't great. There's a lot of cooler people that I would have put in, like Evangeline Lilly. She would have played a great secret agent, but I didn't dislike it. It didn't bring the movie up or down for me. It was like okay. But so I want to talk to you guys about the Syndicate. Now I don't know much about the Syndicate, but I'm sure it's present in the other movies, correct?
No.
No?
They just brought it in.
Oh, this is the first time. Okay, so I can talk about the Syndicate then, without sounding like a douche.
The word, like they've said syndicate, but it's never been like a main focus.
Gotcha.
Like I know they've talked about syndicates before.
Have they really?
Yeah, the syndicate. It was in the
So
last
they have
movie.
talked about it
It was
before.
in the last movie, but it wasn't like the syndicate. Like we're after the syndicate.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it was just the syndicate.
So in this movie, Tom Cruise finds out that this organization known as the Syndicate exists, and what the Syndicate is it's a group of agents that are either presumed dead or missing that show up working under this one very creepy and quiet whispering guy, I like the combination of bringing all the agents together. I thought that was cool, like, because you see Ethan Hunt recognize these people from different missions, and he's like, oh, I know her and I know him, like, do these look familiar to you? But what I really felt was a cool part about that was apparently towards the end of the movie you find out that the British Prime Minister actually started the Syndicate as in like a task force, but one of the agents went rogue and took over the entire thing, and I wanted to pick your brain and see how you guys felt about that, because I actually thought that was a really cool plot point. I'm sure it's been done in other movies before, but that it was a plot twist. It started out actually supposed to be a good force, like to take down evil, but then it turned into someone went rogue and took over the organization. And I want to see what you guys felt about that.
I thought it was real cool. The director of the Rogue Nation of the Syndicate, Lang was his name.
Yeah.
He was definitely creepy. He really caught the essence of the whole Syndicate, like shadow organization kind of thing. So I thought he was a good choice for it. The only problem I had with the Syndicate though was that the build-up. I don't know if it wasn't me that I just didn't catch it in the last movie or anything, but it kind of just came out of nowhere, and it was supposed to be this organization that he's been following for years, and I don't know, I never heard about it, and it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's really the only problem I had with it. I thought they were cool in itself. They were like an anti-IMF, I think they called it. So.
Yeah, I think it was missed, the build up for it, because it started off with you realize the Syndicate was something that was
Real.
and I remembered, if I'm getting it correctly, that they talked about it before, but it wasn't anything major. So I guess in this movie I kind of like missed that, and I was just like, oh, okay.
I liked it. I like the idea of an underground organization working to corrupt and destroy. I love mayhem and like outright violence and stuff like that in movies, but I really respect like underground organizations. I don't know. I think that's really cool. Like the Resistance and Terminator, like just an underground force, whether it's fighting for good or evil. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. Because an underground force
Mockingjay.
has like even in the Mockingjay. And you know that an underground force has to operate with such a level of discrepancy that, you know, I find it really cool. I think it's really interesting.
And they were awesome with their all black and everything. They had it's like the Batman force.
Like turtlenecks and stuff.
Turtlenecks are like always a thing for secret agents. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's because it protects their neck
Oh
from
my-
knife wounds.
Oh my god.
So this is the 5th Mission Impossible movie we have. It's 1, 2, 3, Ghost Protocol, and then Rogue Nation, right? Right. I've never seen any of the other ones, but I want you guys to let me know how you felt about it. How would you rate them? Give me like your list. I'll start with you, seeing as though you say they're your guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I liked them. Once I saw, because I had never seen any of them besides Ghost Protocol, and then I saw it when it came out, and then I was like, wow, why have I never watched any of these movies? And so I went back and I watched all of them. I bought them. And I think I'm going to say Ghost Protocol is my favorite because it's my first one, so it's the first thing I saw, and I loved it. Nothing will beat it. And then I'll say Mission Impossible 1. And then 3 was pretty good. I liked 3. And then maybe I put this one and then I put 2.
Okay, so we have Ghost Protocol 1, 3, Rogue, and then 2.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I definitely choose Ghost Protocol as the first one because I saw the original, then I saw 3, then Ghost Protocol, and I've never seen part 2. But Ghost Protocol was really good, just a masterpiece of a movie. So that's definitely number 1. This one I didn't think was that bad though. I mean, I didn't like it as much as Ghost Protocol, but I thought it was better than the others. It's real close for 1 and Rogue Nation, but I'll put Rogue Nation as the second one.
Okay.
It's still a good movie. Then it'll be 1, then 3, and I can't rate 2.
I think mine would have to be Rogue Nation, and then Rogue Nation,
And then Rogue Nation.
and then Rogue Nation, and Rogue Nation, and then following in the rear would be Rogue Nation because I've never seen any of them. But I will watch Ghost
Rogue
Protocol
Nation.
after this because a lot of people apparently seem to think it was a fantastic movie.
Yeah. Hopefully this movie brings like newcomers into the series.
I think maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to try to like have new people be in it. Even though I like the original people.
What? So,
Just smile.
do we have anything that you guys didn't like about the movie?
Well, the story in itself,
Yes.
like
The story.
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't spectacular. I guess
Exactly.
coming right after Ghost Protocol, it was just
Hard to follow.
Hard
Ghost
to follow,
Protocol
yeah.
had a great. Can we just review Ghost Protocol? Ghost Protocol had such a good storyline and it had such great action and like the characters and it had humor and it had sadness. It was just all around everything, and I think because of that, I was hoping to see all of those things added together in this one, and I didn't. And I think maybe that's why I wasn't so into it.
Dude, this one had some of those points, but just not to the same level.
Yeah.
One thing though that I did like that they kind of brought into this one, but the last movie, the thing is they always had, they're spies, they're super spies, so they have this great technology, this advanced technology, but it doesn't always work. It's kind of like real life, you have a super, iPhone, but half the time you can't get your GPS to work.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, like they kind of brought in this movie, there's a couple points where he's trying to use the technology, he has to bang it.
Oh, yeah.
And it just, I like that. I hope they keep that going if they make
Yeah.
future movies.
Everything's not perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like Simon Pegg just did that to be funny, and it worked.
Maybe.
So, I want to get you guys' overall rating. I want how you guys felt about the movie. Start with Kendall first.
Well, like I said before, I thought the movie was really good. It didn't hit the high point that Ghost Protocol did for me, but it still had great action. The 3 main characters that are always there are great. Ethan Hunt, Benji, and Jeremy Renner's character. So they're good.
William
constants.
Brandt.
Yes. But the movie, I'd give it a 7.5.
7.5? What about you?
And I'm gonna have to give it a 6.5, which is super sad, and I'm gonna cry about it. But I think that it's necessary because I just want them to know that I was disappointed.
Okay. Being my first Mission Impossible movie, I wasn't as connected as these two were, so some of the flaws that they pointed out, I didn't quite see. So I would have to give it a 7. A solid action movie, definitely some awesome scenes. The knife fight, we didn't really talk about it, but the scene where Ethan Hunt is breaking out of captivity in the very first, where he meets Ilsa, they have him chained, and he's chained to a pole, and he does this ridiculous, lifting his back legs up and jumping all the way up the pole to free himself. That was awesome.
Real things.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
It's just an overall good action movie, but the story was a little flat for me. So I'd have to give it a 7. But that 7 is, I've never seen any of the other ones, so I can't really critique it the same way that these two would. But as a first-time Mission Impossible movie, I think I'd probably give it a 7, which would give us a movie lingo average of 7. So not too bad.
I'll take it.
I would definitely recommend to go see this movie.
Definitely go see it. Totally. I'm not saying don't.
It's not a terrible movie. It's good. It's a very action. If you like action, you'll very much enjoy this movie. It's just some of the fans of the series might not be too thrilled with the direction of the story, and like we said earlier, it seems like it almost seems like they planned out a bunch of stunts. They were like, all right, we want Tom Cruise to do this, and this, and then they decided to build the story around that. And I don't think that's how you should make a movie. So movie lingo average of 7. We'd like to thank you guys for joining us today. Our review of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. My name is Cody.
I'm Kendall.
I'm Melissa Jansen.
And as always, we are filming at Past Present Future in Davie Comics. Nailed it. In Davie, Florida. Past Present Future is a great place to pick up Gundams and comics and pop vinyls and statues and lightsabers and masks and anything you guys could want. Everyone that works here is super friendly. When I first came in here, they were very eager to help me find comics that I wanted to read. And they get to know you, and then they'll make suggestions, and you can ask them how you feel about things. And it's just a wonderful place. They let us film here, and they're great people. So you guys should definitely come check the place out because they got a lot of cool stuff that I know you guys would like. Make sure you keep an eye out for our next set of videos on Facebook at Movie Lingo, or also on YouTube. And you can also check us out on Instagram at Movie Lingo and Twitter at Movie Lingo 1. Have a great day, guys.